And that's actually how we got our sound. I couldn't play and Johnny Rotten couldn't sing, you know, and it created this horrible noise.
Voice, just this big howl. It was a sense of exorcism, you know. The Sex Pistols were just blowing everything out of the way. It was an incredible roar of rock and roll.
An enterprising Londoner had visited New York and brought back pieces of the culture he had witnessed. The clothes, the haircuts, and above all, the attitude.
When I came back to London, armed with that experience, I created a shop that I titled Sex. And at the same time as selling all these, I suppose, more obvious leather and fetish and rubber artifacts, I had to express my own desire and designs and feelings inside this, what I would call sex wear culture. And the best I thought I could start was to write on the simplest t-shirt 2 lists of people. One list that I thought were dreadful and horrible, and one list that I thought were cool and generated perhaps a new idea. That was my beginning. Young people started to come, not to necessarily buy the leather gags or the whips, but to buy these bloody t-shirts. Well, sooner or later, I had a vast army of these kids, who I discovered were the dispossessed fans of David Bowie, Roxy Music, etc., who were looking for something of their own. Some of those kids came into my store with the notion that they wanted to start a group.
You start off in school and they take your soul away. They take your brains away. You're not allowed to have an opinion that differs from theirs. Baby, I will stop,
get up! The Pistols' first single in 1976 marked a cultural year zero for British punk.
Going up to then, really, anarchy was mind games for the middle classes, something university students would dabble with in between lunch breaks. I just chucked it right in now, into the wonderful world of pop.
They're a group called the Sex Pistols, and I'm surrounded now by all of them.
We was rehearsing down in Kilburn. All of a sudden, a couple of blokes come in and said, there's a limo here. You're going to go down and do the Today Show. Is that what it was? And because Queen couldn't do it, they had to cancel.
Are they?
We thought we were going to be talking about the tour and the record, Anarchy. He just wanted to, like, you know, make us look silly.
Which one?
Nothing, a rude word. Next question.
No. What was the rude word?
Shit.
Was it really? Good heavens.
So it developed into a huge swearing match. And all the angst and frustration of a group that basically was born out of hating each other was spewed forth towards this paralytic creature who was incredibly horrid and anti this group, beckoning them and goading them on.
Go on, you've got another 5 seconds. Say something outrageous.
You dirty bastard.
Go on, again.
You dirty fucker.
What a clever boy.
What a fucking rotter.
Well, that's it for tonight.
At that point, the show was cut dead. Police were called. The phones were jammed. We were now outside on the street in the same car that came to pick us up from the rehearsal room. And I sat in that car and I said, by God, by accident rather than design, You've just seriously made history, you guys.
So was to begin the media feeding frenzy that accompanied the Pistols for the rest of their careers, as they moved rapidly through record companies and publicity stunts orchestrated by McLaren. Helped by the addition of Sid Vicious on bass, they became fixed in the press's imagination as Public Enemy's #1.
You know, it messed things up as far as destroying the band a lot quicker, and the music went out the window. That wasn't the focus then. It was more like, you know, what we're going to do next, what outrageous thing we're going to do next.
The Queen's Silver Jubilee of 1977 presented the perfect opportunity. The Sex Pistols would make the only high-profile protest against what they saw as self-congratulatory patriotism. Hiring a riverboat on Jubilee night, they played as they cruised down the Thames.
God save the Queen. She ain't no human being. She made you a moron, a potential H-bomb. There's no future.
That's prophetic. You will have no future if you don't make one for yourself. It's as simple as that. If you accept the forms that be, then you are doomed to your own ultimate blandness.
I, at that point, realised that God Save the Queen was going to be a massive record. Even though it wasn't being played on the radio, even though you couldn't see the group play, enough records were being sold to make it #1. But the #1, for the first time in the history of the record industry, was a black mark, because they refused to print the name of the Sex Pistols and the name God Save the Queen. I seemed to escape it all and was seemingly doing incredibly well in business in my shop. I was selling a hell of a lot of bondage trousers.
By the time of the Jubilee, punk had gone up like a rocket in Britain. With remarkable speed, the look had spread to every main street in the country.
They got their ideas usually from the Daily Mirror or the Sun on how to be a punk. Punk kit, 10 top tips.
What were they? Lesson 1?
Well, the proverbial leather jacket, which of course none of us wore at that time. How to spike your hair, what stuff to buy at Boots Chemist, where to get the best safety pins. It was all nonsense. Utter rubbish.